Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today is 9 September. Let's start with the analysis of today. This is me and my working experience. If you want to join our WhatsApp as well as our Telegram group, you can join in via the links given in the description section below. Also, if you want to join our interview guidance program, so the registration has already started. So you can see what this IGP program will assist on for you. So please do join this session to enroll some of the good ranks by even scanning this code and even by calling our number 91275-15541. This is the IGP program which is scheduled to be tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. sharp, okay, where Sri Anil Swarup sir will be taking you some of the discussion of this interview program, and he will give in depth analysis of the various strategies that you need to be taking in your upcoming interview of the APSC CCE means. Okay, so don't miss and join this session by 11:30 a.m. Let's start with the content of today. The first content says about synthetic human embryo. Second, Modi presenting a 12-point proposal to expand India-ASEAN relations. Shivaji's iconic tiger claws. India-South Korea relations. And a verdict of Supreme Court on self-respect marriages. Okay, and then we will cover some of the prelims facts. Okay, so that is in association with this particular analysis. Now, if I start with the synthetic human embryo, okay, so what does an embryo basically means? Embryo is what? It's an initial stage of development of a multicellular organism. We all know about an embryo, okay, and therefore why this synthetic human embryo is basically in use? Because recently an Israeli scientist have successfully grown a human embryo in the lab without using an egg or sperm. So when we say about an embryo, we all know that in sexual reproduction, an organism that reproduces sexually, embryonic development is the part of the life cycle, and which begins right after fertilization of the female and the fusion of the male sperm cell. So therefore, this whole development of embryonic will be referred to as the embryogenesis. Okay, so today we all know that how from the stage of fertilization the zygote gets formed, then the embryo goes into 4-cell stage, and then into morula where many multiple cells emerge, blastocyst, which rapidly makes up the whole embryo. So now when we refer it to be this model, yate without using the cell of the humans, the stem cell mix has been represented, which is able to differentiate into different types of cells, ultimately forming an embryo. So therefore, this model is created based on stem cell mix, fetus formation, naive state stem cells, early embryo, complete model embryo, and some of the techniques which are basically used inside this particular tissue system. Yet bahut bostu humai ase. When we say about even the naive state stem cells, etur bhitorato bahut kini bostu humai ase. Epiblast cells, okay, tropoblast cells, but ebilak kisuman technical terms hoy which you do not need to understand. Okay, moi kisuman wordings koisu khali. Okay, so this models is basically made with an aim to provide an ethical way of understanding the earliest moments of our lives, and therefore here the diagnostic accuracy should also be at the crucial stage. So today, if I have to say about the whole technology, this technology can make a revolutionary step towards making a successful element in terms of embryonic development. Okay, so আজি a significance বহুত কিটা আছে ইয়াত গুটে লিখি থৈ দিয়া আছে model to significance where all such number of things can be found in association with this model. So today the 14-day limit on the trial, which was first proposed by a committee in the UK in 1975-9 after the birth of the first test tube baby, and this 14-day period is equivalent to when embryos naturally finish implantation. So yate gute process to moi ekhon photo dwara represent kori thoi disu, where stem cells are made specialized into 3 types needed to mimic an embryo. Chemical science, chemicals dibo ya. Then blastocyst begins to develop a way analogous to normal human embryo. So this is the 3-step process through which we can generate an embryonic stage or the whole process of embryogenesis. Okay, so hetuke yat koa goise moi eta question di thoisu sai loba. Next, Modi presents a 12-point proposal to expand India-ASEAN relations. Hinnakhonu moi questions to kodisilu about ASEAN, Association for Southeast Asian Nations. So we all know about ASEAN. 10 khon country ase. The countries to the southeast of Asia and also to the southeast of the country of India. Okay, so we all know that this ASEAN declaration, which came into existence with these 10-member countries on August 8, 1967, form hoisile first ASEAN. Okay, aru etu form hote 5 khon nation asile. Kun kekhon 5 khon nation? Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Okay, so therefore there are 12-point cooperation which has been referred on by the PM of India. First ki kole establishing an economic corridor. First, tar pisot multimodal connectivity. Jeta multimodal boli ko, that means airways, railways, roadways and even shipways. Gute multimodal. Then offer to ASEAN allies to share India's digital public infrastructure stack. Ami jitu digital India revolutionize kori asu ei bostutor help ami kak dim ASEAN nation konte. Okay, tarpot focusing on collaboration in financial connectivity. Okay, financial connectivity and digital transformation. The ASEAN India Fund for Digital Future. So this is basically for financial implications, or you can say inclusive financial implications. Tarpisot Economic and Research Institute of ASEAN and East Asia will continue to receive funding in its role of knowledge partner for boosting participation, and this is basically for R&D, research and development. Then call for addressing concerns faced by the global south collectively through international fora. So we know about global north and global south. Okay, global north and global south. So we as an Asian country falls on the global south. Okay, comment section at Kwamuk, the global north at kunbla countries pori ase. Okay, write that in the comment section. Then Asian countries are invited to join the WHO established Global Center for Traditional Medicine in India. Okay, a traditional medicine ami loi pela ami we are very much focused that how this traditional medicine can be something which can revolutionize the whole medicine industry of this world. Aru tar karone eta bostu khulisilu ami which is known as TKDL. A TKDL to ki bostu hoy muk comment section at kwa. Okay, we all know that this is basically a repository which is dedicated to traditional knowledge, particularly kunblak medicinal plants hobo ba jiblak formulas associated hoy ase with respective to the Indian medical systems. So etu loi ase. Okay, and therefore this things is a joint collaboration of the CSIR, that is the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Soa Rigpa and Homeopathy. Jitu ami koi asu ki boli? Ayush boli. Okay, so therefore you have to say me what is TKDL. So tar logot ami etu collaborate kori asu. Then encouragement for mission related cooperation of life. Okay, so when we say about life, LIFE, that means what? Lifestyle for environment movement. Okay, it's an initiative. Okay, moi etu kothau recently koa asile. Okay, which is a movement to influence and persuade the individuals, communities and even the organizations across the world to adopt an environment conscious lifestyle. Okay, so a idea of life is also to what? To promote an environmentally conscious lifestyle that can focus on mindful and deliberate utilization of wasteful consumptions. আৰু এই মুভমেন্টটোৱে এম কি কৰি আছে to bring some of the positive changes in the environment by a collective action. Okay, আৰু এই লাইফ ইনিচিয়েটিভৰ আন্ডাৰত এটা ইনিচিয়েটিভ আহে P3 ইনিচিয়েটিভ. এই P3 মানে কি হয় প্ৰো প্ল্যানেট পিপল. এইবিলাক ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট বস্তু হয়, লিখি থব এইবিলাক. Pro planet people, P3 initiative, and they can directly commit to adopt and promote environmentally friendly lifestyles. Very importantly. Okay, আৰু তাৰ আন্ডাৰত আজি আমি জানো যে we have gone ahead with various programs, be it the renewable energy program, be it the Swachh Bharat Abhiyans. Okay, এই বস্তুবিলাক আমি like we know about the processes through which we are managing this particular affairs. তাৰ ওপৰত যিখিনি recent Glasgow summit or COP26 conference of parties 26 or যিটো আমাৰ commitment হয় that by 2030 India will ensure 50% of its energy come from renewable sources. Also India will go for the 500 gigawatt of renewable energy. তাৰপিছত India will cut carbon emission by 1 billion tons by 2030. তো এইবিলাক কিছুমান commitment হয় which we are all bothered about, because through these commitments only we can really achieve the target of net zero emission by 2070. So এই কাৰণেও আজি আমি ইয়াতে discussion কৰিম under the life scheme. Offers to discuss India's experience enabling people to obtain high quality reasonably priced drugs, December Kendras. So আজি যদি মই drugs rehabilitation কেন্দ্ৰৰ কথা কওঁ, today we are basically the world's pharmacy. আজি আমি world pharmacy বুলি কোৱা যায়. So through this we can make people understand about the need of drugs and their respective needs in the coming times. So that's what a request for cooperation in the fight against terrorism, financing of terrorism and online misinformation. So as you know, India is the country which is faced with the most overt effect of terrorism. Okay, so more terrorism boli noko directly come extremism, be it insurgency, be it Maoism, be it terrorism, everything can be referred to as such. So tar upor India collaborate koribo. To join the coalition of disaster relief infrastructure, we are talking about disaster management. Okay, eblakor karone hoy encourage collaboration in disaster management, etu kotha hai. More collaboration in marine security, safety and domain awareness. Okay, amar jehetu we have got a coastline of around 7516.6 km. So obviously amar coastline or pura bahut khini challenge ahibo pare. To tar logot ami deal korim. To join the coalition for disaster infrastructure, Asians are invited, etu eta hoy. Then encourage collaboration in disaster management. Okay, so ekita maybe repeat hoise. Okay, ekita na lage. So ekita 12 collaborations. So ei bostu bilak amar karone bahut important hoy. Okay, so ekhini kotha ke yat koa gol aru tapsor ami jano India's relation with ASEAN kiman hoy. 31 policy amar ASEAN logot choli ase. Asian plus 6. Okay, 6 ot kun ahi jay? China, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, Australia. Okay, tapsor free trade agreement already ase amar economic significance, contribute 7% of world GDP, represent 26% of the global population. Defense ties, first Indian-ASEAN maritime exercise took place in May 2023, making it significant achievement. Okay, that's what India and Singapore signed a bilateral agreement that will allow Indian Navy ships logistical support, including refueling at Singapore's Changi Naval Base near the disputed South China Sea. So, ebilak kisuman amar the good steps which has been taken under this particular ambit. Okay, so ekhini ami sabo lagibo with respect to ASEAN. Eta question dia ase sailo megida. Next, Shivaji's iconic tiger claws to be brought back to India from UK. Okay, iconic claw. Okay, a picture to dekhile sage sobore monot pori jay. We all know about Chhatrapati Shivaji. Okay, so this person, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, so in a significant development, we have seen that the UK authorities have agreed to return this iconic Wagh Nak, a dagger-shaped like tiger claws used by Maratha King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So this small weapon is currently a part of London's Victoria and Albert Museum. So etu ami sobe janu, etu sabo para. Okay, so etu Shivaji eta equipment asile aru etu kune loi gusi gol, Britisher loi gusi gol. Okay, so etu okol tahator okol enuka nohoy je Maharashtra loi gose. Jodi even amar Ahomoru tenuka bahut bostu loi goi ase. Okay, jibilak bostu aji Britisher captured ase aru ami bahut bisariu asu. Okay, so muk hei jikhon amar moi বস্ত্ৰৰ কথা কৈ আছো সেই বস্ত্ৰখনৰ কথা তোমালোকে মোক ক'ব লাগে। Okay, যে কোনখন বস্ত্ৰ এতিয়াও ব্ৰিটিছৰ কেপচাৰ্ড আছে, লণ্ডনত আছে, বাট সেইখন এটা টাইমত আমাৰ মহাপুৰুষ শ্ৰীমন্ত শংকৰদেৱে সেই বস্ত্ৰখন তেখেতে বনাইছিল। ঠিক আছে, সো সেইটো এটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আমাৰ কালচাৰৰ এটা পাৰ্ট হয়। অ'কে, কোচ ৰজাৰ টাইমত বনোৱা গৈছিল এইটো। অ'কে, আণ্ডাৰ দ্য ৰিকুৱেষ্ট অফ কোচ কিং নৰনাৰায়ণ। অ'কে, সো সেইটো বস্তু মোক লিখি দিয়া এবাউট দ্য চিগনিফিকেন্স অফ দিছ। অ'কে, কিমান মাফ আছে, কেইদিনত বনাইছিলে, যদি যিমান ডিটেইলছ পোৱা সেই পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ বস্ত্ৰখনৰ প্ৰতি প্ৰথমতে নামটো ক'বা, তাৰপিছত ডিটেইলছখিনি মোক কৈ দিবা। অ'কে, সো সেইটো কাৰণে আজি এইটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট পিকচাৰ হয়। কিলিং ছত্ৰপতি শিৱাজী মহাৰাজ কিলিং আফজল খান, অ'কে, ইন 1659. সো এইটো বহুত wagnak is an iron weapon shaped like tiger claws which is used by Maratha leader to kill the Bijapur Sultanate General Afzal Khan, and it is designed to slash through skin and muscles to small weapon. Okay, so Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj কোন হয় সেইবিলাক আমি সবে জানো, সো এইবিলাক অলপ পঢ়ি ল'বা, but you should know about this one, wagnak. Okay, যেটো ৰিটাৰ্ণ হৈ ইয়ালে আহিব। সো Chhatrapati Shivaji লগত কিমান ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট বেটলছ আছে সেইবিলাক গোটেই এটা লিখা আছে, চাই ল'ব পাৰা। Okay, conflict with Mughals, okay, granted title Treaty of Purandar. Okay, তাৰপিছত ইয়াতে মই এটা কুৱেশ্যন দি থৈ দিছোঁ। নেক্সট, ইণ্ডিয়া সাউথ কোৰিয়া টু ইম্প্ৰুভ ষ্ট্ৰেটেজিক পাৰ্টনাৰশ্বিপ। সো যেতিয়া মই সাউথ কোৰিয়া বুলি কওঁ, অ'কে, এইটো কিহৰ কাৰণে নিউজত আহিছিলে? বিকজ অফ দ্য হিষ্টৰিক কেম্প ডেভিড সামিট, and which is in August this year among the leaders of the United States, Japan and the Republic of Korea, which marks the new beginning of the strategic partnership among the three traditional allies. Kun kun? USA, Japan and South Korea. Very important. Okay, so eto ami janibo lagibo. So we all know that as India and Republic of Korea commemorate the 50th year of their diplomatic relation, the Camp David Summit and of representatively new strategic thinking in Seoul offer a unique opportunity for New Delhi to reimagine its relation with South Korea, especially in the Indo-Pacific. কারণ আজি সাউথ কোরিয়াৰ লগত আমাৰ ইমান যিমান ৰিলেশ্যন নাই যিমান আমাৰ ইউএছ বা জাপানৰ লগত আছে। তো এইটো কাৰণে আমি আজি ভাবিব লাগিব যে হাউ উই ক্যান ইম্প্ৰুভ দ্য ৰিলেশ্যনছ বিটুইন ইণ্ডিয়া এণ্ড সাউথ কোৰিয়া ইন দিছ কামিং টাইম পিৰিয়ড। আৰু এইটো ৰিসেন্টলি আহিছিলে Camp David Summit, which is a trilateral relations between these three countries. Okay, যোনটো লিড কৰে ইউনাইটেড ষ্টেটছ, জাপান এণ্ড ৰিপাব্লিক অফ কোৰিয়া। আৰু এইটো নিড মেইনলি কি হয়? Promptly with each other during the crisis and the coordinate responses to regional challenges affecting common interest. Mainly, যদি মই ক'ব যাওঁ যে common interest কোন হয়? China. Okay, so এইটো বস্তু ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়। তো সেইটো কাৰণে এইটো ডাইৰেক্টলি নিউজত আহিছে। ইয়াত ৰাছিয়া ইউক্ৰেইনৰ কথা পাতিছে, ইণ্ডো পেচিফিকৰ কথা পাতিছে, চাইনাৰ থ্ৰেটৰ কথা পাতিছে। So all these things are purely discussed under this particular project. Okay, so ইয়াতে কিমানখিনি মই সিগনিফিকেন্স দি থৈ দিছোঁ, গোটেইখিনি ভালকে চাই ল'বা। মই এইবিলাক বাৰম্বাৰ কৈয়ে থাকোঁ, so I do not want to repeat it more. Yes, but মই এটা কুৱেশ্যন সুধিম ইয়াতে। Supposedly, if I say about that this is South Korea, মই ধৰিলা South Korea খন এনে ৰাখি দিছোঁ। We know this is South Korea, আৰু ওপৰত South Korea কি আছে? We know this is North Korea. North Korea and South Korea is basically separated by a particular line, which is known as a demarcated line or military demarcated line. মোক এই লাইনডাল কি হয় কৈ দিয়া। MDL বুলি কয়, military demarcation line. Okay, so সেই লাইনডাল আৰু এটা কি নামেদি জানা যায় সেইটো মোক পটকে কৈ দিয়া। Okay, so that is basically this question with respect to North Korea and South Korea. তাৰপিছত new verdict on self-respect marriages. Okay, so when I say about self-respect marriages, self-respect marriage is something which is very much crucial in the context of Indian subcontinent. আৰু এইটো নিউজত ৰিসেন্টলি কিয় আছিলে? Because Supreme Court has reaffirmed the fundamental right to choose one's life partner, and that self-respect marriages or Suya Maryathai of the Hindu Marriage Act do not need public solemnization or declaration, setting aside a May 2023 Madras High Court judgment. So today we know that the self-respect movement, which was a movement or a social movement which began in 1925 in Tamil Nadu, and the movement's main goal was to create a new society without caste, religion or God. So the movement's founder, which is known to be E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, also known as Periyar, wanted to reject the Brahmanical religion and culture. So therefore the self-respect movement was also called at that point of time to be the Dravidian movement. And therefore this movement demanded equal rights for the backward classes with a focus on women's rights. So that is thing etia koise je etu aji hobo nalage. So this is importantly we can see that what basically is the self-respect marriage, or etia koa goise je irrespective of this particular public demand, আজি সবৰে এটা ৰাইট আছে to go ahead for their marriages when they are an adult, and this is basically a mandate of self-respect. So ইয়াতে বহুতখিনি verdict দিয়া গৈছিলে মাদ্ৰাজ হাইকোৰ্টৰ দ্বাৰা, so এইবিলাকক গোটেই ৰিপিল কৰি পেলাই সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে আজি এটুক আপহেল্ড কৰি পেলাই ক'লে যে self-respect marriages are valid under the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, যিটো obviously court of Madras High Court stated that marriages performed by advocates are invalid. So hetu karone ei bostu bilak aji ruling ahise, so hetu karone self respect marriage to bahut beshi important hoy gol. Okay, so etur mote the law allows two Hindus to marry in the presence of friends or relatives without the need for a Brahmin priest or elaborate rituals, and therefore this law requires the consent of both the parties who must meet the minimum age requirement for marriage. Okay, so etue asile self respect marriage or upor olop kotha. Yate mo question ta di thoi disu sai loba. International Literacy Day 2023 আজি hoy, theme to important hoy sai loba. To moi eta khudim যে what is the literacy rate of India 2021-22 মোক কৈ দিয়া percentage to লাগে, ঠিক আছে। তাৰপিছত International Physiotherapy Day, physiotherapy বুলি ক'লে কি বুজো আমি, which helps to restore movement and function when someone is affected by injury, illness or disability. তো এটোৰ আজি September 8 ত physiotherapy day হয়, আৰু ইয়াৰ মেইন থিম টু কি হয়, এটো হয় osteoarthritis and role of physiotherapist. Okay, lastly African Union in G20, very important. Okay, so এতিয়া আমাৰ G21 হৈ গল বস্তুটো। Okay, European Union আগতে আছিল, এতিয়া African Union হৈ গল। Okay, so African Union we all know is a continental body consisting of 55 member states that makes up the countries of the African continent. Okay, so etu karone as a good sign hoy, which is a very important sign under the India's presidency. Okay, chalo, this is our academic team, this is our CNA team, and thank you all for today.